Um, as I mentioned, we have a presentation this morning from our colleagues in Greece. And it's with Costas. Good morning, Costas. Uh-oh. Looks like Greece is in the ozone this morning. Okay. Costa, can you hear me? Ah, there's the master technician at work. Good morning. Nope, no sound. Turn your sound on. Nope. Nope. And he's been on. There he is. Now.
Okay.
Good morning, Andreas.
I would like to introduce.
Yes, go ahead.
I would like to introduce Costas Parissis, one of the high growth entrepreneurs of Greece, and he will present to you a standard funds platform.
Okay. Good morning, Costas.
Hello, everybody. Hello from Greece. I hope you're all fine. There's a lag, so perhaps I won't be answering to your questions shortly, but you need to be a little patient with the connection.
We're always patient. We never know what's going to happen in Greece.
Actually, whenever you have to deal with Greece, you need to be patient. We don't actually follow this rule with starters fund because we're growing rapidly. However, this is the case.
Uh-oh. So much for Greece. You there?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Listen to your questions. And probably it's the lack that I talked to you before that delays this communication a little.
Costas, why don't you tell us about the Starters Fund? Starters Fund just went bust. How many of you have ever heard of crowdfunding? Anybody? Oh, a whole bunch of people. Okay. We're going to get them back online. You know, we've been hearing a lot from Andreas over the years that Greece is in a state of flux, which it is. If any of you have equities and stocks, you'll find yesterday wasn't a very happy day, and a lot of that was attributed to what's happening in Europe. But what they've been able to do is generate significant revenues from individuals to help fund early stage and seed stage companies in Greece. And this has kind of been contradictory to a lot of what we hear every day in the news about Greece. To the best of our knowledge right now, there are about 10 crowdfunding organizations that serve Europe. Oh, Costa, you with me?
Yes, hello, I'm back.
Okay. I'm just kind of going over some of the other crowdfunding organizations and describing to the audience what you are doing in Greece with crowdfunding. So if you could pick it up, that would be great.
Well, yes. Well, let me start by saying a couple of things of sorry, about crowdfunding. Crowdfunding actually is it's not just a new way of making business. It's a revolution, and it's not a surprise that leaders with vision like your leaders there funding us as a solution to job creation for the United States. I'm very happy to hear that crowdfunding has become a central policy for your policymakers. And it's becoming a hot issue for the next elections in the United States because it just what it does is to help finance to help fund return real economy. And even for crowdfunding, not equity-based crowdfunding, when funds go to new ideas and young people usually then it's money going back to real economy, because our problem, the planet's problem, planet's financial problem at the time is that all the money, actually 70% of the money that circulate around the planet, are locked to some funny named securities and derivatives and, you know, this kind of stuff that I wouldn't like to. Less than $1 million in assets. So apart from the accredited investors, the accredited investors, $1 million assets.
God bless him.
Sorry, I had a delay and sound returned back to me. I just keep from where I stopped. Now, what I was saying is that apart from accredited investors, nobody actually has. Oh God, sounds terrible. Nobody actually has access to equity-based crowdfunding in the United States. However, with our platform, which is hybrid, we do both donation-based and equity-based crowdfunding. Any European Union resident, any resident of the 27 European Union member states is able to participate in equity-based campaigns. So this is Starters Fund, the most sophisticated service to the day for equity-based crowdfunding, enabling also donation-based crowdfunding. And we're working hard to be ready for the United States in the next couple of months. We're working together with a great legal office in the United States. Actually, they're based in New York. It's EGS LLP, and we think that we're already close to a solution that will work for the United States as well, even before any of those 4 laws that are stockpiled before the Senate passes the Senate and becomes a law for the United States.
Line, so you'll be able to hear and see.
So I'm ready to answer to any questions you have regarding crowdfunding in general as a tool for financing small businesses, or crowdfunding through Starters Fund, which is about to open in the next 3 or 4 days. Starters Fund is already open. You can see some of its content.
Okay. How many companies do you anticipate working with in the coming year in Europe?
We have various kinds of predictions. Our lower estimates are around 10 to 15 successful crowdfunding projects being funded by the end of this year. However, our more optimistic predictions go for more than 40 projects being funded. If you take the average, the current average of the market, success rate of the market, then it means at least 400 equity-based projects before the end of this year.
And typically, what size are the investments in each company?
In donation-based crowdfunding, the average is around $100 to $150. In equity-based, we anticipate that to be a little higher, because actually we'll have a limit, a threshold of 100 euros per supporter per case. So it has to be at least 2,000 or 2,050 euros per project, per case. The least amount, the average amount that the crowd will offer to crowdfunding projects will input.
Now that doesn't seem like a lot of money to invest in each company. It just kind of gives them, in some cases, enough money to either prove their technology, prove their company. How do you? What's the ongoing funding stream from there? And do the investors participate in the second round?
Well, if you are talking about the total campaign target, then we have, perhaps that was your question that I didn't hear or I didn't understand. Actually, a campaign, to us, a minimum crowdfunding, equity-based crowdfunding campaign starts at, and the maximum is 187.5 thousand. So for a first round, it's just enough money to start a business. That's why we're Starters Fund. We named the service like Starters Fund, a Starters Fund. Now, with that money, you can start a new company and running as as a taxi for the first year or so. But a successful company will have the option to come back for a second round, and the crowdfunding limit. The limit for crowdfunding in Europe is 2.5 million euros, meaning that unsolicited public offering of securities is limited to 2.5 million euros per case, without registering a project with any SEC, any Securities and Exchanges Commission. Beyond that, you need the registration or some other exemptions apply, and this limit is being raised for Europe to 5 million euros per case. So there is enough space for crowdfunding regarding second or even third round for people being crowdfunded in Europe.
In addition to the funding, what other services do you provide the entrepreneur?
Actually, we used crowdfunding as a tool for creating an ecosystem, an online ecosystem for business growth, business birth and growth. Meaning that we have a VBI, a virtual business incubator aside, with lots of people and services that are actually being unlisted these days. They're not visible yet. We will also have a market with many tools, online business planning, online marketing planning, that will become available soon. Do you?
No, you're okay. Go ahead.
Oh, good. And this ecosystem is going to support business birth and growth from various perspectives. Crowdfunding is just the beginning. We will also have a crowdsourcing solution in the next couple of months. Our projection says that by mid-June, the latest, we will have also a crowdsourcing solution combined with crowdfunding and combined with a corporate social responsibility program that we also have in place. And what we want to build is a nest with everything in it, online.
Interesting. Any questions from the audience? Anybody have any questions about crowdfunding and what they're doing? Nope. Costas, you're good?
Yes, I would suggest we have, for everybody who wants to go to startersfund.com, we have a very very interesting knowledge base where you can find some very helpful guidelines for creating a successful crowdfunding project, regardless of the solution that the service that you will select. You can do it through our service or any other service. The same rules apply. So I suggest everybody to take a look at the knowledge base of startersfund.com.
We will pass the information along. Thank you very much for your presentation this morning, and you and I will get together when you're in New York shortly.
Thank you very much for this invitation. It was very nice talking to you, Les, and to the people there, and hope to see you soon.
Likewise. Take care, Costas. Bye, Andreas.
Welcome. Bye-bye.
Well, it's an interesting perspective, and it's something that's taking Europe by storm. Apparently, from my discussions earlier in the week and last week with Costas, they've got about 300 to 400 people already interested in participating in the crowdfunding program that he's developed. Costas is a lawyer in Greece, and everything is becoming internet-based, web-based, and it's a very exciting program. John, you got a question?
I have a question, yeah. In the U.S. market, with the compliance rules that have come up since 2008, Sarbanes-Oxley and so on, I think there might be some problems with this, right, where people would run into restrictions because of these laws.
Yeah, the question that John asked was about U.S. restrictions and compliance with Sarbanes-Oxley, and it's an excellent point. One of the points that Costas mentioned was that it's donation-based, so you can actually donate. You can actually donate funds to a company. Yes, you can receive equity in return. There are some issues from time to time in receiving the equity. That does become problematic when it comes to some taxation for the individual, not necessarily for the company, but for the individual. But until the company reaches its next stage of growth, because of the limitations on the amount that's being donated, that does not enter into the early stage and does not interfere with Sarbanes-Oxley at this level. Once you get to that next level of funding, yes, there's a very definite complication.
What do you mean by the levels?
Well, in this case, they're only looking at about $1,500 to $1,800 as far as the level of donation. So it has, once it goes above a certain level, and I'm not sure what that level is, it becomes a Sarbanes-Oxley issue. Any other questions? Because that was a very, very good question.